5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom! What's up, champions? This is Coach Réal with Getting Real with Réal, where we ask the question, do we want it or are we just talking about it? We get real, raw, authentic, and brutally honest because that is the only way we are going to become everything we were created to be. Welcome back to Getting Real with Réal, where we ask the question, do we want it or are we just talking about it? And today's episode is exactly about that. Are we just running our mouth? And that is the problem. That's why 98% of the success in the world is enjoyed by 2% of the population, because most people are just talking about it. Check it out.
Boom, what's up, champions? All right, so here's the God drop for today. It's one of my favorites, actually. I say, do you want it? I call it, do we want it now? But it's like, do we want it? And it's about making a decision, all right? And most people do not get this. They do not understand this. And so when you think about it, it's like, we start with, when we decide to do something, right? Immediately, what happens is we go to how, or what if. How am I going to make this? Morning, champion. How are you? How am I going to make this happen? You know, well, what if this happens? Or what if that happens? You know, all of these things, right? The what ifs and the how too. You know, and the reality is, you know, none of that matters. It's just about making a decision. And when you make a decision and you decide that's what you want to do, everything else will fall into place if you're all in. It's just really weird how that happens. And I call it, we have a place in our brain. I call it the action center. Okay, it's kind of like, it's like our GPS. And it contains every thought, every memory, everything you've ever done or not done is all in there. All right, just like in the GPS of the car has every road, it has everything, every street, everything is in there, right? And if you put an exact address in, boom, it knows exactly where to go, and it takes you right there. It doesn't second guess it. So it's the same thing in our brain. When we make a decision and we say, that's where I want to go, the brain will figure it out. But if we say, well, maybe I want to stop over there, but how am I going to get there? Or, you know what, then we're not going to get there. Okay, and you know what, I'll wrap it up with this, and it's one of the reasons I started Do You Want It? Or are you just talking about it? And I've changed it to Do We Want It now, primarily because I could get the domain name. Do You Want It is like $30,000 because it's so important. But, and this is what most people will never get. I want to be successful with Amari. I want to make a difference with Amari. I want to leave a legacy with Amari. I want to take care of my mom with Amari. Whatever your goals are, I want to buy that house. I want to get that car, right? Until we decide that's what we really want, nothing else matters. How much it's going to cost, how we're going to get there, what if this, what if that, none of that matters. Because when you completely decide that this is what I want and turn your GPS on, that is where you'll go. So I hope that helps, champions. But dude, there's really not much more to say about that. It's really that simple. And most people, 99% of people, do not get it. I want to buy that house. Well, I need to get this amount of money. And how am I going to get that amount of money? And then, you know what, my credit rating's not that good, so I don't know how I'm going to qualify. And, you know, blah, 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 blah. No. When you decide you want that, and I've seen it all my life, champions, on a whole little level, small level, I love to go to swap meets or Right now, my new thing is going to this Bulldog Liquidator. And I do it, ask my wife, I do it week after week after week. Something will be put on my heart. I want, like, you know, for example, when I was getting ready, here's a perfect example. When I was getting ready to do my road trip to Tennessee, I was looking at potential screens, portable screens, to purchase on Amazon that I could carry with me, that I could take with me. And I found this one that I wanted. And I said, okay, after doing a bunch of research, I said, that's the one that I want. That's the one that I'm gonna get. And I happened to go Bulldog that day. I walk in, I go over to the section that has, you know, basically, you know, electronics and stuff. And there and behold, and this happens all the time, whatever I'm looking for, there and behold, there's only one sitting right there on the shelf, the exact same brand, everything. The only difference was a fifth of the price. Do we want it? Or are we just talking about it? I love you guys.
Well, there you have it. Are you just talking about it? Or are you actually taking action and getting it done? So here's the question. Do you want to be part of the 98% or do you want to be part of the 2%? It's really that simple. Stop running our mouth and start showing up and taking action. Go ahead and subscribe to my podcast. Make sure you don't miss any future episodes. I appreciate it if you leave a comment or a rating on Apple Podcasts. It helps to move our podcast up, and that way more people hear about it, and that way we can change more lives. And that's what it's all about, right? It's not about us. It's about how can we help others to be successful. With that said, thanks for sharing it with your friends. I appreciate you. Make the rest of the day the best of the day. God bless. I will believe in you till you believe in yourself. Oh, and guess what? You are a champion. Boom!